So you've been in the race now for 6 months.
Yeah.
And there's a stretch now through the primary up till next June. What's going to start making you stand out even more as a candidate, make these distinctions sharper and sharper as we get into the primary season?
I mean, Kevin, I think every day we see the importance of making sure Lawler is gone, right? That he doesn't continue to represent the families in NY-17 because of the harm he's doing by just blindly enabling this administration and truly kneeling to Trump, right? We are not that. We stand up for what is right and what is in the best interest of our families and the future of this district and the country. And so the imperative of making sure we have someone who can beat Lawler just gets stronger and stronger every day. And when you talk about walking the district and meeting with folks, I mean, the number one thing I hear is people's frustration with the system. So even going beyond Lawler, people are just frustrated by the same old politicians. This is what got us into this mess. They're not going to get us out of it. They're not going to do differently. They're not going to bring change. And so going back to what I think is the most important thing heading into next year to appeal to all voters, it's just being authentic, right? It's being who you are and saying, look, I'm doing this because I love this country. I've spent my entire life fighting and serving it, right? And results matter. Where I come from, I'm used to really high stakes. And right now, these stakes are really high for the American people, for Hudson Valley family. We talked about affordability. We talked about folks getting kicked off of healthcare plans and not being able to afford it. We talked about the fact that, look, for the first time in modern American history, the economic prospects of young Americans are worse than that of their parents or grandparents. We have to change. The path we are on cannot be the path we continue on. And that's folks on both sides who got us into this mess, right? And so the biggest case I just keep making is, look, I'm not a politician. I'm a problem solver. I'm a leader. I'm somebody who's going to do the right thing.
Did you ever see yourself running?
No.
Aren't you happy?
No. You know, it's so funny. It's like, you know, after a decade in special operations, social media wasn't a thing you can imagine we ever used. I certainly wasn't an avid social media user, the exact opposite. And now it's like, it's just crazy. It's a whole new chapter of life. But no, I mean, I loved being the person out there getting the job done and being out in the trenches, right? Like actually out there fighting and taking on the hardest problems.
Well, it seems like you're building your coalition and bringing a lot of national attention to what is going to be a national race. And really starting to get to know all corners of the district and bring people into the fold.
I mean, Kevin, I think you're so spot on where you look at Mike Lawler. He has raised nearly $4 million. He is campaigning all across the country. Just this week, we had Senator Ted Cruz out here in NY-17 for a fundraiser. I mean, when you think about the level of means that Lawler's bringing to this fight, we've got to make sure that we're bringing the same magnitude of support and getting this done.
Like, how would you describe where you are in the life cycle of your campaign?
So 6 months in, I think we are at the point where we've demonstrated to folks who I am, right? The type of leader that I've been my whole life in terms of public service. I explain to folks that you deserve better. You know, this is not about someone and their individual political ambition and using NY-17 as a means and stepping stone for their own fulfillment. This is about doing what's right for our family, for our country. And that message is what I think is mobilizing more people. You know, we were just out at the No Kings rallies last week, and in Austin, you know, had the awesome privilege of kicking off No Kings Day. And I will tell you, the crowd there was fired up. You know?
I saw.
It was people who, it's not even about political parties. It's about the country and what's happening. And they want us to do better, to do different. So in terms of where we're at, I mean, we're going to continue to work really hard to reach people where they are. And I think that's one of the most important things is we've got to meet people and not just stay in the same like silos, but go out and meet folks who, you know, may have voted for Trump and Lawler and are realizing that, man, the impact on my life is not what I expected it to be. And this isn't sustainable. You know, you look at electricity prices going up by double digits.
Yeah, and you wrote that op-ed in Low HUD a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was really pretty spot on. What do you see as driving like energy costs? And I know that's a pervasive concern in the district.
What kills me is you see this administration just cutting $450 million in energy investment in New York State at a time where we are truly facing an energy crisis. And you see the technological revolution that's coming that's going to be enabled by AI.
Oh, I want to talk about that.
And with that, the reality is we've got to have more energy to meet the demand, not just that we have today, that we're going to have tomorrow, the next 2 years, 5 years. And so with that, we need to be investing. We need to be doing more. And this administration, because it's selfish, because it's short-sighted, because it doesn't actually care about the welfare of the American people or people here in nationality.
And one thing that you've mentioned that's been like so encouraging is this idea of investing in a new generation of infrastructure for America. And I think we're seeing it on the energy side with energy prices going up as the private sector invests in data centers to support AI. Like, what does the new infrastructure look like? So I'm not quite sure whether our current Congress is totally equipped or certainly not thinking about the investments we need for a new generation.
I mean, Kevin, I think some of it too is we need a new generation of people
Yeah.
who understands technology. We should absolutely be forcing these companies who are looking to build these data centers to be investing in our local economies, specifically the infrastructure that's going to be powering it. And we're seeing this crisis, I mean, across the river in Rockland County, there's a company looking to build another data center. And the local municipalities are opposing it because of the burden it's going to place on the electric grid.
Yeah, and how it's going to drive up prices.
And so that's where we can't turn these things off.
Yeah.
We need data centers, but we need to also ensure we are pursuing responsible economic policies that drive investment in the local communities to make sure that those things are powered and the communities are benefiting. And that's where I think it's hollow right now.
Yeah.
We don't have that balance. And that's part of the bigger issue where you see corporations doing things at the expense of people instead of investing in the country that has enabled them to be successful. I mean, you have our allies who are saying, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
We're on the same team. And so going back to this administration and just where I think we continue to see a failure to use responsible policies to drive outcomes that will actually benefit people and not just make good headlines. I mean, look, tariffs are an important economic tool, but they're intended to be used with precision and as part of a broader approach to drive investment and obtain a certain outcome. So, for example, if you want to put tariffs on things like solar panels, then make sure you have an American industry that can manufacture them and meet the demands. So you don't have American families picking up that tab that's just getting passed through by the manufacturers.
Yeah, there's a strategic goal in mind to build internal capacity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't just drop tariffs and then expect the American people to not pick up the bill if there's not a domestic manufacturing base to offset it.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're seeing.
Yeah.
We're seeing these guys who are just looking for headlines and trying to use like these bullying tactics with our allies. I mean, the thing that's just outrageous is you see this conflict that's still raging in Ukraine and the incredible work that our European allies and NATO allies are doing to ensure that this democracy, Ukraine, can fight back against this Russian aggression. And we're sitting here and playing games over whether or not we're going to provide munitions and support, and then we're talking about taxing industries that are related to defense and technology that's being used in these conflicts. It's just the whole concept is so broken in terms of its execution. And that's where it's just, we deserve better. When we're talking about, again, the affordability crisis, at a time where folks are already making trade-offs between groceries and prescriptions, now we're talking about jacking up premiums and having them nearly double for working class families. How does that make sense? We have tens of thousands of folks in this district that are going to get kicked off of Medicaid because of this. And you're just like, why?
Yes.
As they sit there and allow billionaires to get tax breaks, this is the bullshit that is just unacceptable. And screwing over working American families, like, that's not a partisan issue.
No.
That's an American issue. We should say no, period.
And Congressman Lawler continues to show that he's willing to say and do anything to get elected again. This is like, he put out a post just this last week claiming that he is going to be the problem solver for healthcare. How are you planning on going up one-on-one against Mike Lawler to call those things out?
I mean, I don't know. Does he think we're stupid?
He thinks people aren't paying attention.
I know what everyone's paying attention to, and that is their bills. Mikey, you haven't fixed it, right? Like, no one has gotten a better shot at a better future on his watch. And so he can throw whatever lies he wants. We're not dumb. We see through your bullshit, you know? And so, I'm going to keep calling him out for what he's doing. But beyond that, I'm going to keep telling people what I'm going to fight for and how they deserve better, right? And we have to have better. When you're looking at the disruptions we're going to see with AI being integrated more and more into our economy, the jumps in productivity, but also the impacts on the workforce as we transition to other means, we've got to have a plan. We've got to figure out how we're going to set up the workforce of today and tomorrow to still thrive with all of these changing conditions. Those are the real conversations we need to be having. We're not. Instead, we're playing political BS with whatever topic of the day that the administration in DC comes up with to make headlines instead of dealing with real issues. And so when you go back to, you know, what am I focusing on over the next few months leading to the primary? We've got to beat this guy. And Mike Lawler has faced and beaten Democratic politicians. He has never faced a patriot like me. A veteran who's as blue collar in terms of roots as they get, who's doing this for the right reasons. And I'm going to fight to win.
And the path to 2026 runs right through November 2025. Local elections. Congressman Lawler is on it. He released an ad yesterday or the day before saying, "Don't let socialism come to our backyard." What's our plan for early voting in 2025 to dispel ridiculous ads like that?
I feel like you should run another one that says, "Don't let fascism come to our backyard." Right? And as the main enabler. What a joke. Special guy. So
he's a very special guy. You are.
Yeah. Do your job. But so seriously though, I mean, this November is important, where we're going to see people have their first opportunity to act on the frustrations they are feeling and really the concerns over their family's future and the impact so far of this administration. So, you know, we're sitting here on a Saturday morning, early voting starts today here in the Hudson Valley in New York. And I think we've got a lot of work to do to try to encourage turnout. I think this goes back to trying to get important leaders of character at every level of government. But it's going to be hard. We have a lot of work to do. And that starts not just next year, right? That starts this year, and how we build that momentum.
So the fall is upon us. I know you have a lot of work to do on the campaign, but are you hoping to find any kind of peace or joy in your fall off the campaign trail?
I mean, we're going all in to try to help folks in the state and locals leading into November. I will say one of the benefits is we've really been able to enjoy the fall apple season, crushing apple cider left and right. Those apple cider donuts. I have to work out extra. I've been eating a lot more of those. But it is amazing how many orchards we have, right?
It
in
is
this part of
incredible.
the valley. It's so much fun. But it's awesome to be with people. And I have to tell you,
bring them back too. I mean, go where they are. Talk about their concerns and then show them a different way forward. It doesn't have to be this way. It wasn't always like this, and it could be different.
we're not that old. And like government used to work. It did.
I remember. I remember.
And that's the whole thing, right? It's like, look, we know we can do better and we can be better. So let's do it. Let's stop just admiring the problem, be the change, step up, and let's go.
I mean, there is a better way forward, and I'm so glad you're in this race and showing us a different way that we can take.
It's a team sport, man. Like, thank you for what you're doing. We continue to bring up the conversations that matter to our communities, right? And the issues that are impacting people every day here. And this is going to be a hard fight. Beating Mike Lawler is going to be hard. But we will get it done because of everyone who's going to rise in the moment and step up and make sure we are successful. It's time.
It's time.
Let's go kick some ass.